Good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that might be new here, what we typically do is go over crypto news in the space. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here in the chat, and then we'll get into this. Mr. Black Hat Team, good to see you. Lawnmower Man, Vinny, good to see you. Good morning, sir. We have Dakota Miner all set. Tim I Am Crypto in the house. Mr. Retro Mike Tech. Let's see. Rob Mines, thank you for becoming a Chump Change VIP for 5 months, dude. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And yes, I would dump this out if I could, but it's my desk. Shout out to Oval Boar, obviously. We miss them, love them. They'll always be in our thoughts. But we're not going to do that today. So I'm going to try to, I know I got the emoji in the chat. You guys, obviously, we feel for each other, and I know crappy things happened and it's unfortunate, but we're not going to talk about that today. If you guys want, you can recap on yesterday's stream. I just don't want to do that to everybody this morning. Let's see. Panera Cards, Nismo Miner. We have Jim C. Austin. What's up, man? Mike the Miner, good to see you. Mr. Max Voltage, good to see you, buddy. All right, let's get into this. Everybody else I may have missed, I apologize. Let's see. We have the market over here. Bitcoin 63,111 bucks. Looks like it's down 5%. Mr. Austin, my man, thanks for being a member for 20 months. Jeez, thank you so much. I appreciate it. What's up, Yusuf? Good to see you, buddy. And Retro Mike, I already said that, but cheers to you, man. Hopefully you're doing okay today. All right, Ethereum looks like 3,077 bucks. Everything is in the deep red today. This is a big in the market, but hey, Solana 134 bucks. Looks like we're getting another fire sale today. Look at this, $26 on ETC. I feel like my computer's lagging this morning. I don't know what's going on. Caspa down to 11.6. Man, everything's on sale. Everything. I'm gonna be buying stuff. LTC 78 bucks. Look at that, Max. It's light pink. Light pink, not red. Must be excited. BNB 543 dollars. We have wrap Bitcoin at 61,633. I thought it was more expensive. I was like, get out of here. BCH, let's see, is at $484. And yeah, my computer's definitely lagging this morning. All right, we're gonna move on to crypto bubbles. Look at this minefield. Oh my, gross. You know what? It's interesting. Everything goes down. This core coin, whatever this is, I don't know what this is. I haven't looked into it yet, but this coin is up, and it's been up consistently the last like couple days. We are up 13.4% today to $2.17. Weird, strange. We have Teo down 15.4%. Looks like CKB is down 15.2% today. We have Neo down 15.3. Solana is down 10.3. Man, Sand is down 6.4. The Sandbox is a gaming token. You can get this on Coinbase. I actually got some of this the other day. Let's see. We have WorldCoin down 1.8%. Is anybody into WorldCoin actually? Let me know. Interested to know. Bitcoin halving is only 3 days away, guys. We are getting like real close to who knows what's going to happen in this market. It's going to be crazy. Kyle Rosa, appreciate you, buddy. We have Render. Let's see. Render's down 11.8% today to $8.18. I think that's a good buy, to be honest. Render's going to do good things in the bull run for sure. Fetch AI 11.5% down on the day to $2. Man, Whiff, Dog Whiff Hat 10.7. Dude, I saw some guy. This dude made a video yesterday. I didn't watch it, but I saw the thumbnail, and it was like Dog Whiff Hat to I forget what he said, $5 or something. Like, make sure you guys buy it now. Like, craziest stupid clickbait thumbnail I've ever seen. The guy had like 500,000 subs or something crazy. It was like a crazy amount of subs, and it honestly is, it's like our responsibility to not like shill shit coins, and like that was the most irresponsible thing I think I've ever seen. Like, it was just so stupid. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, if people want to get into meme coins, fine. You want to talk about them, fine. But like, don't be like, go buy this now, and then look the next day 10.7%. Yeah, bruh. Sounds like you guys got wrecked. Everybody that watches that guy. Anyways, flashbang fear and greed index at a 65. Perfect. This is perfect, actually. We need this before the halving, right? The only thing that's going to drive the market up is a lower overall, you know, sentiment in the market. The big guys are going to be buying, and the little guys aren't really going to be able to buy until the big guys start pushing the price back up. But they don't want to see everybody talking about it. Like, when everybody's talking about Bitcoin, that's not the time to buy it. Let's put it that way. Do you know what I mean? So Guys, take it as you will. We're gonna hear from Peter Schiff for Brains this morning. It's gonna be interesting. Just wait. It gets good. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over here on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC, Lido Staked, Ether, XRP. Dogecoin has flipped Toncoin. Toncoin's in 10th. We have Dogecoin in 9th. Nice, $22.2 billion market cap. Looks like Toncoin took a little bit of a shit, but it's still above ADA. ADA is at 16.3 billion in 11th place. And Avalanche is also in 12th place, 13.1. I don't know. I don't know. Is Toncoin gonna hold? What do you guys think? You know, it's someone I don't take credit for that Shift for Brains comment. That was somebody else in one of my comments, and I laughed so hard. I was like, that was a perfect name. All right, we have Litecoin in 20th place, as you guys can see. Ethereum Classic solely on the ETF. I think this is gonna do great in the bull run. Just my opinion. You guys do what you want. All-time high is 161 bucks. Do what you will. Render, I think, is going to do very well this run. It's kind of a newer coin, so we're going to have to see. Caspa, never seen a bull run. We're going to have to see what happens there. I think it's going to do extremely well. How's Lithium doing, actually? I haven't looked. Oops. Dark mode. Look at that. Actually, what's trending? Mantra is trending. Gala and Orbs. Everything's down, though. Trending down. Oof. Big oof on that. All right, let's see it. Lithium. Let's see what Lithium's looking like. Oh, God. 11.6% down on the day. Bruh. This might be a good buying opportunity, though. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, this could be a good buying opportunity. It could be making a flag, right? Or even if we took this, right? I know it's not trading view and it's not a very good chart, but just in general, let's not yeah, I mean, it could be a good idea. Who knows? Let's see. All-time high 386 about 2 months ago, 30% down. So you guys buying it? Let me know. Morning, Charles Harris. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. And Crypto for Seniors, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. All right, let's see. So again, I've been saying this the past like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even though it's down, guys. Cardano, this could be a very good play. Could be an easy 6x. I mean, who knows at the end of the day, but 2017, 2021 bull run, 2024 is just around the corner. It's pretty low, relatively low, and its all-time high, it was $3, 85% down. So I think Cardano is a safe play. That's my opinion. Obviously, Bitcoin, safe play. Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, I think is pretty safe play as well. That's my opinion. You guys do what you will. I was actually listening to Max Voltage last night, and I thought about doing I was going to do a video, 5 coins that have 5 to 10x potential, but I didn't have time to do the research yesterday, and I've been running around a lot. So I'm gonna try to get that video out at some point, and Max said he was gonna be doing the same video or a video similar to that last night, and I was like, damn, like, at least I'm on the right track of what people want to watch, because if he's thinking it, then I know it's a good idea. So Max, I apologize if you think I stole your idea, but I promise you I didn't. We have Bitmain Antminer KS5 Pro 21 terahash units. You guys know I like to timestamp these miners. Moving on to crypto miners, we have $109 a day on the KS5 Pro 21 terahash. The Lithium miner, gold shell, little mini box miner. This is a home miner, 180 watts. Crazy. Runs off 120. $15,000. That's insane. But it's making $106 a day, almost $107 a day. And that's at 10 cents kilowatt hour at the current market rate for lithium. So when a lithium goes up, these prices are going to go up. Same thing with Casper miners, right? Casper goes up, these prices go up. Is this a good idea to buy this unit? Probably not. First batch, maybe you might make your money back. Second batch, probably not. Just saying. I wouldn't buy this though. That's like Dan R. I agree, man. I would not buy this. Yeah, the L9 was announced. What? No. Somebody send me a link. Crypto Craig, don't lie to me. You serious? You serious? Max Voltage, sorry buddy, I love you. The KS5 20 terahash unit over here making $104 a day. Is it all right? The L9, really? Bell's mining? All right, now I gotta look. Bell's mining? That's probably not good. All right, let's do L9. Yeah, but is this like so all right, so we've seen this before. We've seen this before where they've listed the L9 for I don't know, it was, I forget what site it was. I feel like the site had like Bucky or Beaver or something in it. I can't remember. Bitmain tech status. Thank you, Steven Cicero. All right, let's see. Let me see. What is this? Antminer L9 will release in May. Oh shit. All right, if it's coming from Bitmain, you know it's legit. God damn, I'm gonna retweet this. I didn't even know this came out. I gotta stop paying attention to Twitter more. I just don't have freaking time for it, man. I don't know how you guys do it. Bitmain will release the Antminer L9 in May. Bitmain, let's see. Antminer L9 will support Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Bells mining with an energy efficiency of 0.21 joules per mega hash. There will be more preferential policies. Please look forward to it. What? Interesting though. Weird. That's really all the information we got, huh? Really everything. Huh. Well, you know what? To be honest, the L7 is old. It's old. It's 3 years old, and it's still profitable. So I mean, listen, Bitmain had no reason to come out with the L9, to be honest, except for the age of the unit. The profitability, like they're competing with nobody until Locotech actually puts something out there. They're not competing with anybody, so like they're in no rush to get this thing out. You know what I mean? Probably 16 gigahash. It says Zarkov. They're sending you one for review. Yeah, right. I wish. Let's see. We have the Ice River KS5L. I'm just going to continue here with the Caspa miners. $58.77 a day. We got the BMKS Max making $50.40 a day. The Windminer K9 10.3 terahash making $49.53. The original KS3 from Ice River is only making, this is 8 terahash unit, $36.94 a day. That's rough. Ice River KS3M 6 terahash unit making $25 a day. You know, like I say that's rough, and it's like, it's still ridiculously good. That's still a lot of money a day, right? If you had a couple of them, like shit, you just got this friggin' thing over there in the corner working for you, making money every day. That's kind of cool. But like at the same time, these things were making like $100 a day. That's crazy. It's crazy how fast it dropped off, but the emission schedule, I get it. Caspa shaves off a little every single month. If you guys don't know, they don't just go through a halving. They go through what do they call it? What is it called? What's the word? What word am I thinking of? It's like it's just like a shaving a little off every month. I can't think of the word. You guys let me know. The Antminer L7 9050. This is the unit I have down at Terra Hosting, making at 10 cents kilowatt hour rather. If you guys are interested, links are in the description. $11.64 a day. See what I mean? Like this unit is still killing it. The market's down today, and this 3-year-old L7 is still making $11.64 a day. Shavening, emissions. Yeah, the emission reduction. There we go. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you. Reduction. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Anyways, this L7, do you see what I mean? Like this unit is still stupid profitable 3 years later. So they have no rush to get an L9 out. And again, there's nobody competing with them. So like if Locotech came out with their shit tomorrow, they'd push this L9 out. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're going to have to see. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see what happens, and that's it. Just it's up in the air until it comes out. We have the Ice River KS2 2 terahash unit making $8.28 a day. Man, that's under 10 bucks. That's under 10 bucks a day. That's crazy. The S19, where's the S19K Pro? I got this unit down at Terra as well. $6.30 a day. This thing is profitable mining Bitcoin. Most profitable mining Bitcoin. It was Digibyte for the last couple days. All right, but soon we're going back and forth actually. All right, so it's about 50 cents more or so now, 56 cents more than Digibyte at this current moment. How's Digibyte looking? Just for shits, let's check, and then we'll get into the news. We got a penny and a fifth of a penny. Interesting. 0.012 on Digibyte, 7 days. Yeah, so I mean it's been taking a pullback with everything else, but if this stays close to where it's at, once Bitcoin goes through the halving, you know, the Bitcoin reward is going to be cut in half. So this would make it $6 a day. Digibyte and Bitcoin Cash, they might be looking pretty profitable for you guys if you have these miners. So keep that in mind. You can always mine a few other things. You have Bitcoin miners. The Ice River KS1 making $4.19 a day. I don't even want to look at the pro. Let's see. KS0 Pro, where is it? Right here. 200 gigahash, you make it 89 cents a day. All right, I'm shutting this shit off today. Bruh. Damn it. I did hit 50K. I noticed that this morning. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Miss Pocket Change, thank you. I did. I was shocked, actually. I was not expecting that when I woke up. That was amazing. You guys are awesome. All right, let's move on to GPUs quick. We'll have to do a giveaway at some point. You know what? Maybe I'll give away something. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll give away one of these freaking KS0s. Now they ain't making shit at my house. Maybe I'll just do that. All right, let's see. We got the 4090 mining Graham, Ironfish, and is that HTN? Is that WhoSat? I don't remember. I think it is. We have Ironfish and Pyron, Ironfish and Graham on pretty much all these other cards. Abel on the 170HX. Interesting. Let's see. Scrolling down, man, everything's Ironfish, man. Ironfish, and I understand, but like, man, I just can't. I don't know if you guys are holding that. It's not for me, man. I don't know. The way they came out when they listed and just kind of rugged everything, it's not cool with me. The 3090 is always a little different, but now it's actually on the Graham train over here, and then we have Conflux and Radiant, and I think everything's pretty much the same all the way down. 3070 Ti laptops on Xano. We got Clore on the. What is this? Is that the Radeon 7? AMD V11 or VII? Is that how you do it? Is that 7? Is that Roman numeral 7? Right? Did I say that? Let's see. Who's getting an L9? Not me. Not me. Unless it comes out to like a decent price. I don't even. What was the price on that? Where's the Steven Cicero? Let me see. Let me open this in a new tab again. Oh, they didn't say how much it was though. It wasn't said how much it was here. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Thank you for the super chat. Who sent that? Hold on. Getting there. Mr. Crypto Mining for Seniors, Midwest Mining. Thank you so much for $4.99 super chat. Say congrats on your 50K. That's awesome. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It really does. You guys are fantastic. And I guess streaming every day does come in handy. All right, let's see. New coins. Oh boy, we got another meme coin. A SHA-256 meme coin. Ooh. That's kind of neat, actually. What? That's so weird. You never see SHA-256 meme coins. That's crazy, actually. Is that like kind of like pique anyone's interests? I don't know. That's kind of neat. I wonder if this one will go kind of nuts like all the other ones. It's doubtful, but hey, listen, it's kind of cool to see another SHA-256 coin come out when we got these ASICs that could be really not profitable, I guess. And if that pumps, then screw it. Hell yeah. This is a new coin again, by the way. If you guys, please, if you get off this site, you're on your own. Do this on your normal computer. I don't care because I got my shit VLANed. I'm not worried about it. But let's see. It's a meme blockchain and an NFT market. I'm already out. NFT market, not for me. But anyways, let's see. Fully automated blockchain based on SHA-256 algorithm. Buy or sell your NFTs on the community market. I ain't clicking on nothing in here. Blockchain NFT market, fast transaction, worldwide customers. I mean, it's like, listen, if it's a meme coin and it's got some sort of utility, I guess that's all right. Right? Oh, actually, coin allocation. What's this? Devs and advisors, 20%. Bruh. We got rewards pool, 59%. Development, 20%. What? Devs and advisors, development. So this should say devs. This should be 40%. So they're taking 40% right off the top. And then pre-sale / freelancers, 1%. So 41% of this coin's already gone. This is gonna be a rug. I'm gonna call it now. Not financial advice. You guys do what you want. All right, events calendar. Let's see. Larissa coin, LRS going through halving in 17 hours. This was not on the list yesterday, and neither was AVS. 55 hours from now, going through a fifthening, it looks like. Or is that halving? Yeah, it's a halving, I guess. I just said halving. That's a halving. Radiant, 3 days. 3 days. If you guys are not aware of that, going from 50,000 to 25,000. Bitcoin in 4 days. It technically, I think it's going to land on Friday, guys. I think the Bitcoin halving is going to land on Friday. I don't think it's going to make it Saturday. Friday's the 19th. I think that's when it's going to happen. We're going to have to see. So obviously I'll try to stream, but it really depends what time it's at. Could be like super early in the morning. For us, or for me anyways, Eastern Standard Time. Octaspace in 8 days is going through a 5th inning. Ethereum Classic in 43 days. Pyron in 35 days. And then Kevacoin obviously in 25 days. But obviously most important is Bitcoin, right? 4 days from now, or a little under 4 days from now. So please be prepared and make sure you guys buy the dip. Financial advice. All right, let's see. You guys know I like to watch Mr. Funstrats, Tom Lee. This dip will be bought as there's a lot less leverage in the market. Let's see what he's got to say over here on CNBC television. Guys, hit the like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. I hate asking, but YouTube makes me.
Our next guest calls it a moment of dual fragility for equities, but believes the recent dip will likely be bought. And that's certainly playing out today, although off the morning lows. Frontstrat's head of research and CNBC contributor Tom Lee joins us. Tom, you've been good about taking things like, say, a job.
Shit. Look at his hair. What in the hell? He forgot to comb that thing. I feel like that thing's gonna jump off.
Print or CPI, and arguing that it's an opportunity if there is a dip. Is it a harder call when it does involve geopolitics?
It's definitely a harder call because the scope of the path this escalation can take place is unknown. But at the same time, we can look at sort of past episodes and past war instances or conflicts and understand how markets react and where positioning is. And I think that's what's giving us some confidence today, that there's a lot less leverage now. And I think the Fed's in a very different position where the Fed could be supportive. And that's why I think, as uncertain as it feels right now, I think this dip will be bought.
Does it create downside risk for your year-end target, let's say?
I think when you move beyond the 1 month, even 3 months, or even 6 month timeframes, I don't think that these actually affect the trajectory because, the drivers of our year-end target are this recovery in corporate profits, the upturn in business confidence measured by ISM, the fact that consumer leverage is still quite low, and that monetary policy is actually supportive of the business cycle. So I think these things all are still at play between now and year-end, and I think our 5,200 target is too low, but I think it's still too early for us to raise our target as well.
Yeah, I mean, I read your note over the weekend, I cited it. A lot of it does rest on this idea that the Fed is in a very different mode. And as you referenced, they're sort of in easing mode. But the story, Tom, has been that they are not going to be able to ease so easily or so quickly. And today's retail sales data only adds fuel to that fire. So I do wonder how much of your thesis depends on the Fed cutting this year.
Sarah, I think it's important for the Fed to be dovish this year. And in terms of how many cuts they do, I know there's going to be a lot of debate about, well, is it 3 cuts or is it 2 or 1? But it's really going to be the reasons why they make fewer cuts. If the economy is resilient and inflation is not accelerating, so they end up doing even as little as 0 cuts, that's actually quite bullish because, one, the Fed still has a lot of firepower to make future cuts, and it just shows you the economy is handling higher rates pretty well. I mean, I think it would speak really well for equities if the Fed made fewer cuts, but for the right reasons.
Tom, to the extent, sorry, your thesis depends on obviously earnings coming through. We're at the beginning of earnings season. What are you looking for both now and through the back half of next year in terms of S&P earnings and growth rate?
Well, earnings in the fourth quarter that was reported 3 months ago came in close to 8% above expectations. That's already flowed through into what we expect for 2025. First quarter's already looking pretty good. More than 80% are beating. So I think our 2025 earnings, which is officially 260, and that was 8% earnings growth, is probably low. It's looking like it's going to end up being closer to 270, maybe 275. That's a $15 higher earnings for next year just because of the strength of earnings we're seeing now. So I think profits are coming in pretty well. I mean, inflation's cooling, but companies are still finding operating leverage.
Look at Tesla, $165. Shout out to Tom Lee for going on CNBC. All right, let's go over here. I know I like to listen to Jay Clayton too, as well. I'm not sure what this is about, China trade relation. Let's see what's going on over here. The former SEC is that guy, Jay Clayton. So he's on CNBC as well. Let's do it.
So I want to welcome former SEC chairman and CNBC contributor Jay Clayton. Good morning to you.
Morning.
You understand this filing at all, by the way?
I think Mike has it exactly right. To the extent you're going to raise primary capital,
Trump media to issue new stock,
or to the extent that people or security holders are going to be selling shares in the future, you want to get your ducks in a row.
I have about 1 million questions about what's taking place over the weekend and how the markets have reacted. But I actually just want to start with the very basic idea that we're watching the markets this morning obviously rebound quite remarkably, given the fact that we just had Dan Sr. on, effectively quite worried.
I love people watching in the background. Every time this guy was just like, he was just with the other guy. Now he's over here. It's funny. Real quick, Jim C actually said, I feel like Tesla needs to do something. I'm about to sell some of mine. Interesting. DJ Mines would yell at you. Just hold it. Just hold it. Hold it till it goes back up, man. It'll come back.
About this escalating. And I'm curious, as somebody who's just watched markets over the years and seen what happened last week, and then we were watching Bitcoin over the weekend as sort of a risk on, risk off kind of thing, how you think about it.
Wow. Well, that's kind of a off the top of my head question.
Yeah.
But what have we seen over the last 2 years about markets? What have markets seen? Markets have seen that we really don't want a sharp dislocation with China. Right. We actually are continuing to allow oil to flow out of Russia for stabilizing purposes. We don't like $5 gas. We don't want $120 oil. I think markets.
God, $5 gas would be terrible. I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, crap, I need to go fill up everything before it gets to be too late. Oh, there we go.
Are seeing the reaction around the world to this of, look, things are okay as they are. China has no interest in their economy going down. Russia has no interest in their economy going down. We are continuing to have many bilateral discussions with China.
So we were talking about China earlier with David Sanger, with Admiral Kirby. What is your sense of where we have leverage or don't with China as it relates to what's happening in Iran and Israel? Meaning, what kind of pressure points do you think that China can put on Iran, or do you think that they won't?
I think we had a really good discussion last week about this when Rahm Emanuel was on, right, that China uses economic coercion to get its way around the globe, and that we have to recognize that. We also have economic coercion with China, that a sharp decoupling from the U.S. would definitely cause a continued deterioration in their economy. I think everybody, why did Janet Yellen go? Like, everybody likes the status quo now compared to a decoupling. Do we have to get somewhere in the future where we're not as susceptible to coercion?
Doesn't it appear that we are moving?
That's why we're building the plant in Texas.
Well, I was going to say, we're building the plant in Texas. Meanwhile, the Chinese are saying we're not going to be using Intel chips, for example, in our networks in the future. So what does that say about where this all heads?
Well, I think we always look at it from our side.
Right.
If we're going to decouple from them, they're going to decouple from us over time. They don't want us to have the same
but won't that'll leave us ultimately with less leverage, not more? No?
Well, but we may have less leverage, but they'll have less leverage over us. Which is, if you ask people, what did we learn from the pandemic? There was a tremendous amount of economic leverage going both ways. We definitely learned that.
Yeah,
companies,
that's true.
I have called for large multinational companies, not in some kind of mandatory, check the box way, but to discuss with their investors just how dependent on China they are, so that we have an understanding of that. It goes both ways. I think leaders at each country, you can tell, are nervous about that level of interdependence.
I mean, it's a very interesting question about dependence, because dependence creates a relationship. We have no dependence right now on Russia, right? Happily. But we also have no relationship with Russia at all.
But relationships can be, all relationships, all human relationships, they can be mutually beneficial or corrosive, right? People can use relationships to their advantage in a very corrosive way.
And so right now, but your view is you would just get out of Dodge, if you will.
No, I think showing that, let's put it this way, showing that you can leads to a more healthy dependence, right? When you're dependent and have no options, you're at somebody's beck and call. When you're dependent and have options, you have a much more cooperative relationship. It's that way. Any business, you don't want to have a single supplier, right? That supplier then has a great deal of control over your business. You can have an incredible relationship with a single supplier if you have alternatives.
Very true, actually. Made a lot of good points, and that could be affecting everything as a whole. All right, we're going to listen to Mr. Schiff for Brains over here. Economist makes ominous Bitcoin forecast. Sell now. What do you guys think? Should be a little Timmy and sell now? Get into it.
You've been waiting for it, right? Well, let's hear the halving. It's upon us in the Bitcoin community. Let's just say they're champing at the bit. And why not? Take a look at that. I think this will be the fourth run, right? The prior three all saw strong rallies over the next 12 to 18 months. Let's bring in Coin Stories podcast host Natalie Brunell. All right, Natalie, so is there a chance, though, that when this initially happens, we could actually get the old buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing?
Sure. I mean, a lot of this has been priced in, so I think we can expect short-term volatility as usual. But long-term, the price has been trending up, and we've actually never seen a new all-time high in a cycle prior to the next halving. So things can get a little spicy here.
We've got them on the chart here. I mean, so it's amazing. The first one, I mean, it's just absolutely, it's hard not to be enticed by what we're seeing here, again, over a certain period of time.
Yeah, the logarithmic chart is always really expressive of the fact that Bitcoin is just going up in one direction. But, a lot of people can get kind of confused. What is the halving? Because we've never had an asset that has this baked in reduction in the incoming supply, regardless of the demand. But I really think it demonstrates.
That's a good point. We have never had that in like the stock market, right? With these ETFs, they've never had a reduction of whatever it was being sold, right?
Demonstrates the elegance of this programmatic monetary policy that really is an elegant set of rules with no rulers that we all engage in and participate in voluntarily. No one's imposing this on us. Bitcoin is chosen by us, the people.
And this is the core, one of the core value propositions of it, right? But I want to ask you about the last few days. Bitcoin's come down a lot. And so folks who are anti-Bitcoin are saying, hey, there you go. It was sold to us as a sort of a hedge against geopolitics. And as soon as something flares up, it collapses. What do you say to people like that?
Well, it's the fast money that's selling in and out of Bitcoin and creating this short-term volatility. The smart money and the permanent capital is seeking shelter in Bitcoin, and more investors are going to see it as this flight to safety, including when things get more and more uncertain and chaotic around us, because Bitcoin is the one thing that is actually certain and predictable. The halving is just another example of that. It decouples the power to manipulate money from the state, and it allows all of us to be in a fair competition so that real value can come to the surface.
All right, Natalie, I want you to hold right there for a second, because
before we listen to Mr. Shift for Brains, I'm going to put a link in the chat. I totally forgot to pin this. We have a donation link for Mr. Ovalbore Tech. He was sadly, his life was taken this weekend, right? I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm going to pin this at the top if you guys are interested in donating to the family for the burial and fundraising and all that stuff, for donating to like the animal shelters and some other things they're going to be doing over there. So I'm going to put this in the top of the chat. If you guys could, I'd rather you donate there than donate here. So that's that.
I'm going to get back to you in a second, but I also want to bring in a friend of ours. It seems these days everyone is gold member, right? Check this out. Goldman Sachs saying gold $2,700 an ounce this year. Now, we know, of course, emerging market central banks have been buying gold for a long time. Look at that, go all the way back a decade or so, folks. These are central banks, not the ECB or the Fed. Let's bring in Euro Pacific Capital chief economist, also global strategist, Peter Schiff. All right, Peter, gold obviously rocking. Everyone's obviously jumping on the bandwagon. The question is, why now? Why at this particular time?
Well, gold's probably going to close at a new record high close today. It's only a few dollars off it now, above 23.70. Gold is rising because the dollar, the euro, the yen, fiat currencies are losing value. Inflation is real. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere near the Fed's 2% target. We're headed in the wrong direction. We'll probably be in double digits by next year. And eventually, the first digit isn't going to be a 1. Central banks are out in front of this. They're the main buyers. A lot of Americans have been foolishly selling their gold to buy these Bitcoin ETFs. There's nothing elegant about losing your money in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going up. In fact, Bitcoin peaked 2.5 years ago at about 37 ounces of gold.
He's saying it's not going up in comparison to gold. But the way he says it, it's not going up. Like, really, bro? This guy, like, he contradicts himself the entire time he talks, all the time. And, like, I would be embarrassed if this guy was my father.
As we speak now, it's worth less than 27 ounces. That's a 27% decline in 2.5 years. This is a bear market. Right. Bitcoin is going much lower than this. If Natalie were smart, as soon as this segment is over, she would sell all of her Bitcoin. Because if she doesn't sell it now, she's going to sell it later at a much lower price.
All right.
This guy's an idiot.
Them's what we call fighting words. And I think there's similar drivers for both. But let me introduce the two. Natalie. Natalie, meet Peter. Peter, meet Natalie. All right, Natalie, some choice words for you. What would you tell Peter?
Oh, I know, Peter. And you know what? Bitcoiners don't feel the need to constantly attack gold because we're not threatened by gold. And the reason that we have this failed fiat experiment that has impoverished our nation is because of the defects of gold. The fact that it's not easily portable, it's not easily verifiable, it doesn't offer instant final global settlement. And so you know what? Centralized authorities hijacked it, they papered over it, and we have a system of leverage and rehypothecation that hurts the working class. Bitcoin is immune to all of that. It is the savings account for billions of people that we really need and can most rely on, and it offers that final global settlement that we need. And so gold is the analog version of sound money, but Bitcoin is the digital version, and that's why it's going to be the faster horse in this race.
Facts, not to mention you can just dig deeper and find more gold. You ain't going to find more Bitcoin under the ground, right? Or on an asteroid in the sky, right?
Peter?
There's nothing sound about Bitcoin. It's losing the race right now. Take a look at your screen. Gold is up $25, $26, and Bitcoin is getting clobbered. You know, there is no flaw in gold. Gold worked great for 5,000 years. The problem is the flaw is with governments. The flaw is with human beings, not with...
Listen, I agree with that. Flaws in governments, for sure. For sure.
Gold. But Bitcoin is really flawed because it doesn't have any actual value. Gold is the most useful metal on the periodic table. That's why it's money. Now, it has great characteristics that make it better money than other commodities, but absent its intrinsic value, it couldn't be money. And Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. It's just a digital string of numbers. And all of this is just a bunch of hype.
Anything could be money, right? On the island of Yap, they used to have big stone money. Anything could be money if people use it as an exchange. And this is the thing.
Look at him. That's a good point, too. Yeah, stone, like, dude, they made freaking stone coins back in the day. Like,
but that's because they...
But here's the thing, though. You have to admit, Bitcoin is on the rise. Wall Street has embraced it. And this is just a tiny speck. I mean, could you imagine, Peter, at the rate of recognition, if Bitcoin keeps going at this rate, it's hard to deny it could go substantially higher.
Now, I just told you it's been dropping for 2.5 years. That's when it made its
all-time high recently.
And I think that decline is going to accelerate. It does not keep going up. They suckered in a bunch of people. Wall Street didn't embrace it. They're just trying to make a buck off it. I mean, these big Wall Street firms.
I mean, listen, I agree with that too. Wall Street, yeah, clearly they're trying to make a buck off of Bitcoin, right? But at the end of the day, they're not going to allocate something that they think is just going to fail immediately. You know how much confidence they would lose in their own people at that rate?
Aren't buying any Bitcoin with their own money. This is their customers' money that are dumb enough to buy it. They're just booking the bets. They're operating the casino. They're not at the blackjack tables or the roulette wheels. That's their customers that are doing that.
Natalie wants to.
You know what? This is a midlife crisis. This guy is breaking down because his company's probably not doing well. Exactly. DJ Mines. Bitcoin sucks, but invest in gold with my company, Euro Capital. Yeah, he's probably losing a bunch of people to Bitcoin. That's probably half the problem here.
Jump back in.
A dink.
You know, if you look at the short term, Bitcoin is going to be volatile. But if we zoom out, Bitcoin has outperformed gold. In fact, when Hamas attacked Israel, since then, Bitcoin is up 125% and gold is up only 27%. So let's really look at the numbers that we're seeing. And the best thing about Bitcoin is, again, no one controls the ledger, whereas gold is really vulnerable to centralization and top-down control, which is why we need a system that is a neutral place to store your wealth. We need a neutral system. And
don't even compare.
Peter, why can't someone own both? Why can't someone have exposure to both?
Get them.
Yeah, well, first of all, Bitcoin has outperformed everything. So don't compare it to gold. It's outperformed stocks.
What? Did he? What? What's his whole argument against gold and Bitcoin? He just says don't compare it. What?
real estate bonds,
This guy's a
collectibles.
moron.
That's because it's a gigantic bubble. No, if you want to own Bitcoin, I don't care. If you want to lose money in Bitcoin, go right ahead. Doesn't bother me, but I'm trying to help give people advice as to what to do with their money. And if they want to have an investment portfolio, Bitcoin has no part in it. But, you know, if you like gambling, if you want to take some of the money that we're going to take to the racetracks or buy lottery tickets with or go to Vegas, if you want to take some of that money and gamble on Bitcoin or any of the other 20,000 cryptocurrencies that are out there, go right ahead. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I don't want to buy any Bitcoin. I mean, sure, had I bought Bitcoin years and years ago when I first learned about it, yeah, I could have made a lot of money.
Yeah, I could have made a lot of money. Yeah, no shit, because you've been calling friggin' Bitcoin to zero forever.
Selling it now to the greater fools, but I didn't do that.
That's something
but
he said on my show. He wishes he bought Bitcoin.
Yeah. So Natalie, bottom line though,
but I'm not going to buy it now. And Natalie, you're going to wish you sold Bitcoin. Mark my words.
All right.
You're going to be ruining it.
Mark my words. How many times has moron said this?
We take all of this stuff, Peter.
If I'd only sold my Bitcoin, I'd have had a lot of money.
We got 30 seconds left. I got to give Natalie the last word.
I think the American dream has really been hijacked. We tried gold. It didn't work. It was papered over.
Facts.
That system has failed the American people. And Bitcoin does provide hope for us, the working class. We want to be able to work for something that has to be measured by a free market so that we can see real value emerge, as opposed to being captured by politics and bureaucracy, which ultimately is a system that benefits the few at the expense of everyone else. And it's a system in which the politically connected and the special interest groups really are at the top. And so we need a system that is for the people. Bitcoin is for the people.
Natalie, thank you very much. Peter, thank you very much.
He's like, Peter Schiff, eat shit, hate you very much. Well, shout out to Fox Business for bringing that to us, because that was great. That was fantastic. I love listening to him. He just gets stomped on the whole time. Yeah, she definitely won that battle for sure. And not to mention, Bitcoin is a digital ledger that when it first came, like, it's never had an invalid input in the entire ledger since its inception. There's never been an issue. So, like, come on. Like, really? I don't know. Anyways, crypto world, CNBC television, Bitcoin struggles to maintain 64,000. You guys know we are down to, what do we at right now? 63,237. So let's see what crypto world CNBC's got to say over here. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Today, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are settling after a weekend sell-off. Asset managers in Hong Kong say they've been approved to launch spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs.
Real quick, Doughboy in the chat, congrats to your son. That's amazing. He just said, this guy is saying don't buy BTC, and my 16-year-old son just bought $1,000 worth just now with his savings. You have a smart kid.
And the Bitcoin halving is just days away. We take a deep dive into how the big miners have been preparing.
3 days away, people. Probably Friday.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Crypto prices stabilizing this morning after tumbling through the weekend thanks to rising tensions in the Middle East. As of
Hold on, I'm sorry. DJ in the chat, he said, where the F is Hawk? I knew he was wrong once again about the L9. Track record 1 out of 420.
noon Eastern, Bitcoin hovered around the $64,000 level, while Ether actually rose more than 3.5% in the past 24 hours.
That's so funny.
That's after those cryptocurrencies fell 6.8% and 8% respectively since Friday. Digital coins were some of the only risk assets trading over the weekend, which meant the crypto market suffered heavy selling on Saturday amid the unprecedented Iranian drone and missile attack on Israel. Bitcoin hit a low of $60,985 yesterday, according to Coinmetrics, but later rebounded to as high as the $65,000 level.
Yeah, so there's sustainable crypto. There's a word on the L9. I guess Bitmain tweeted it yesterday. I showed it in the stream a little bit ago, and Max Voltage is dying because DJ said he will be wrong about Caspa next. 1 out of 421.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Bitcoin and Ether are getting at least a little boost this morning thanks to Hong Kong regulators who approved the launch of spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs in the region.
Yeah, this was yesterday. This is awesome, actually.
According to asset managers, including China AMC, Harvest Global, and Bocera International, which were among those that got the green light to issue the crypto.
Do you guys not understand how big Bitcoin is going to get with everybody in the world being involved?
ETFs. Hong Kong is one of the first places in the world to give approval for spot Ether ETFs. Here in the US, the SEC hasn't made a decision yet on those products. Even though spot Bitcoin ETFs started trading here in the US back in January, some asset managers told CNBC last week they don't expect their regulator will greenlight Ether ETFs. Hong Kong has been trying to transform into a regulated crypto hub, while digital asset trading has been banned in mainland China following a massive crackdown on the sector in 2021. Next, Solana rolled out a new software update to tackle congestion on the network. In an X post early this morning, Solana developers said the update is now recommended for general use by mainnet validators. Now, this is the first in a series of planned updates to address network congestion, with more on the way, according to the Solana Foundation. In a statement sent to us, the foundation explained the reasoning for the upgrades, saying that the network recently experienced congestion and failed transaction challenges due to a dramatic increase in transactions associated with meme coins and an influx of spam transactions, with bots attempting to prioritize their activities over those of regular users. This congestion resulted in delays in transaction processing and transactions being dropped.
Obviously the meme coins on the network are really the thing that's been killing it.
DeFi Llama, on March 14th of this year, the Solana network handled $3.8 billion of transactions, compared to $63 million on the same day 1 year ago. Last, as the SEC's
case, that's a lot different.
Case against Coinbase marches on, the crypto exchange filed an appeal asking a higher federal court to help with clarity on the agency's stance on digital assets. Coinbase filed what's called an interlocutory appeal in federal court on Friday to challenge a single point at the center of its dispute with the regulator. The requested appeal asks a higher court to review whether a crypto transaction that poses no obligation to the original issuer of the asset would be deemed an investment contract that could be regulated by the SEC. In the filing, Coinbase doubled down on its stance that the crypto industry labors under an intolerable cloud of uncertainty. Last month, the SEC scored a big win in its lawsuit against Coinbase when a judge rejected the crypto exchange's bid to dismiss the agency's claim that Coinbase engaged in unregistered sales of securities. All right, for our main story, the Bitcoin halving is just days away, but miners have been preparing for months. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan explores what steps the publicly traded companies have been taking to make sure they can handle what's to come after the key technical event slashes miner rewards in half.
Going to be a very interesting time in the market. Real quick, Retro Mike said Max DJ is just overexcited to start mining LTC. He knows it's the real winner. DJ Mine says yes. LTC, can't wait. Stop the cap.
Bitcoin miners are preparing for the network's biggest event in 4 years.
Man, look at those open air frames. Look at that. Is that when you can mine Bitcoin on GPUs, or is it just a different kind of farm? Man, I missed that. I missed my stacked rigs.
Halving coming up here, and Riot has a number of ambitious growth plans that we're scaling up our business with. So as the price of Bitcoin appreciates, we should appreciate from that in an outsized way.
The rally in Bitcoin really is what's keeping miners in business today. When you think about post-halving, the average cost to mine in Bitcoin is somewhere around between $20,000 to $25,000 a Bitcoin currently. Post the halving, that'll go to somewhere between $37,000 to $45,000 a Bitcoin, maybe $50,000 a Bitcoin in some cases for some miners. And with the Bitcoin price being at 67, 68, 70,000, it means that miners are still mining profitably. Though, what it really means is the miners with large scale will be able to mine profitably. The smaller miners will be put under more pressure.
I think that we will see failures in the space. We already saw in the last market, there were a couple bankruptcies, both in the public and the private space. I think we're going to see that again. So I think that there's going to be great opportunity on an M&A basis. We're thinking about the facilities or the data centers that miners are operating in. If there's a data center full of old equipment that is no longer efficient, we'd love to buy the facility and move in.
So what exactly is the Bitcoin halving? Miners on the network get paid in Bitcoin for verifying transactions. And every 4 years, the supply of new Bitcoin created to reward miners gets cut in half. This process is hard-coded into the Bitcoin protocol itself, meaning no one can change it. This process takes place every 210,000 blocks. A block is a collection of verified transactions grouped together. With blocks being validated roughly every 10 minutes, that works out to about every 4 years. Now, the halving affects the rate at which new Bitcoins are brought into circulation. The supply of Bitcoin is finite. Only 21 million will ever exist. Cutting mining rewards means fewer Bitcoin will enter the market every day.
If anybody new here or doesn't know, there's about 5 to 7 million Bitcoin lost from back in the day when people would mine it and just didn't really care and didn't think it was really going to go anywhere. And I just said, oh, whatever, you threw away your old computer or you lost a hard drive or whatever the case was. There's a lot lost. So there's going to be a lot less than 21 million actually available.
That makes Bitcoin more scarce after each halving. Bitcoin prices have historically risen after past halving events. So for investors, it could mean big returns. For miners, it could mean big losses. If they don't find ways to become more efficient, some miners could even go out of business.
If you think about the Bitcoin rewards as, the pie got smaller, and all the miners that exist, it's about the size of that pie. We think that there will be miners that are less efficient and can't handle that revenue shock. So we think as many as 30% or 15 to 30% of miners will actually have to turn off, shut down.
I think if you look globally, potentially about 15% of the capacity may come under pressure. And by that, I mean that those operations may be unprofitable. And so those miners that have machines that are above the global average in energy consumption will likely come under pressure. So we'll have to see, but I think most of the publicly traded miners are fairly well positioned at this point.
Look at that. Them old ass RX 580s or these like 470s or something. I have Armor Edition 580s like this. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
The first halving event took place in 2012, 4 years after the first block was mined on the network. Jump to the most recent halving.
Oh, I was gonna say about the big mining facilities. Do you guys think they're gonna just swap over to like Digibyte or something? Like, is that a good idea for them, or is that like a huge pain in the ass for big miners? I assume that sucks, but it'd be a long ass day plugging in each machine to figure it out, unless you had like a managed network,
12.5 new Bitcoins were added to the network at the beginning of 2020. In May, that number was cut in half to 6.25. This latest halving will drop rewards to around 3.125, and that process will continue until all 21 million coins have been mined. The expectation is that should happen in about 116 years from now.
So we'll all be dead. Every single one of us will be dead. just that. Mr. Luke, real quick, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Merry Christmas. Let's do a live stream for the halving. We will do something. But listen, if you guys are going to donate today, please donate to the link up top for Oval Boar's family. Please. I'd rather you guys do that. Thank you.
Riot is positioned to exit 2024 mining more Bitcoin per day than it is right now, despite the halving occurring. We are scaling up our operations by almost a factor of 3, and we are implementing an ongoing power strategy that helps decrease our energy costs and gives us an industry-leading cost of production. Our direct cost per Bitcoin in 2023 was just about $7,500 a coin. Now that increases with the halving, but with the price appreciating at a faster rate, we think we are in a very good spot alongside everything we're executing on this year.
Miners are expanding their footprint to boost their capacity in an effort to limit their losses post-halving.
Mr. Luke, if you don't know, Oval Boar Tech his life was sadly taken this weekend. I shared it in Discord. Go check out the announcements in Misfit Mining.
Riot acquired more than 31,000 mining machines in February. That same month, CleanSpark announced it completed the acquisition of 3 Bitcoin mining data centers in Mississippi, which boosted the company's operating hash rate.
Ooh, that's a good point. Retro Mike said, CCXD, many of the big miners are publicly traded. Swapping to other coins also involves dealing with stakeholders. That's a good point.
Earlier this month, Marathon Digital closed a previously announced acquisition of a 200-megawatt Bitcoin mining data center in Texas.
The benefit of owning and operating these sites is that it essentially lowers our cost to operate. It lowers our cost to mine Bitcoin because we're now taking out the middleman, if you would. The other thing that's been a very positive impact of this is we've been able to acquire these sites at lower than replacement cost, meaning...
Holy shit. Look at the zip ties holding these units. All these power supplies, my word.
A cost below what it would have cost us to build them in the first place.
Oh my, so look how clean that facility is though. Those got to be like new machines. That's crazy.
It's a great way of kind of being able to expand quickly, leverage other people's capital.
That's a cool clip.
They build the sites, and then we come in when the market gets a little weaker for sites and acquire the sites. And it's been a very good strategy for us so far, but we'll continue to acquire sites, and our objective is to be predominantly owned and operated going forward.
You need to be efficient in order to survive, and Bitcoin mining is no different to any other industry.
Phil Harvey is the founder and CEO of Saber56, a hosting provider and crypto mining consultant. He expects to see consolidation among miners following the upcoming halving.
Couple of L3s.
Now we're seeing in the space a lot of mergers and acquisitions taking place because the power just isn't there for people to grow into. So those underlying assets, the power purchase agreements, PPAs, are becoming extremely lucrative. So yes, there will be miners that don't have the capital in order to reinvest, and therefore, provided they have a lucrative underlying power asset, will become an M&A target.
Damn, look at those. Look at these. Look at those miner rigs. Man, I miss that. I miss building rigs like that. It just sucks. I can't do it anymore. It's terrible. I mean, you could, but like, they're just all gonna be off if I build it. That sucks.
M&A target.
That's crazy. Anyway, shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that. That was actually a really good video. I wonder what's gonna happen, to be honest. All right, let's move on to the videos. I only got one today. We're gonna watch Mr. Lark Davis. I don't know what this is about. I haven't watched it yet. It says crypto market top signals. You've been warned. Let's see what Lark Davis has got to say. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
How will you know when the top is in for crypto? How will you know when the perfect time to sell is? Well, you probably won't. And you probably won't perfectly sell the top. So get that out of your brain. But there are some common indicators that have pretty reliably signaled that a market top is coming soon, or is here now, or is almost over, and they get the hell out before the big collapse comes.
Real quick, DJ Mines in the chat said, I miss when we were making bank from GPU mining. Make Ethereum great again. You know what, dude? I miss it too. I think everybody misses it. It's crazy.
In this video, I want to share these indicators with you so that you'll have the knowledge to know when to get out. This video is packed with insane alpha. Bookmark it, rewatch it later. Let's go. And let's start off with technical features before talking about some social features that are also pretty important to keep an eye on. By the way, usually you will see many of these at the same time. So just one flashing usually is not enough, although one or two flashing, maybe three flashing could be a short-term topping signal, meaning a cool off the market's coming. When you see a lot of these together, watch out. Let's start with the pi cycle.
That curl looks so fake. He just glues it on us, just tapes it on the forehead. Just is my mic really cutting out? I apologize if it is.
Top indicator last cycle and the cycle before last, it flashed within about 3 days of the final top for Bitcoin. Now that is some pretty damn scary accuracy and about as close as you can hope to get in terms of a good signal. So if you're seeing this one flashing the sell signal, then pay attention to it because it might be time to get the heck out of the market. Do note that altcoins tend to peak about 2 weeks after the pi cycle tops flash indicator flashes for Bitcoin. The next indicator is the MVRVZ indicator. When this enters the pink box, usually time to get out of the market. And if you see it peaking above the pink box, then run fast, sell, and don't look back. By the way, you can find this, the pi cycle top indicator, and the next indicator we're going to talk about in the website lookintobitcoin.com. Now let's talk about the net unrealized profit loss indicator, or the NUPL. Basically, when you see this either touch or enter into the pink box, it means that the market is overheated. It's time to think about heading for the exits. Now, this is usually an earlier signal and tends to hit a few days to a few weeks before Bitcoin actually tops. So you can use that as your canary in the coal mine, so to speak. Again, altcoins usually topping about 2 weeks after Bitcoin does. Now, all that's cool, of course, but let's
I don't know if he's shilling this company. I don't know what the hell this is. You had to pay for it, though. $24 a month. By millions of investors who get clarity about Bitcoin using data analytics. No. What? No.
Open up the price charts. Now let's look at some chart indicators. First, let's talk about the 50-day exponential moving average. Now, you can expect multiple retests of this line during a bull market, but it also serves as an early warning, an early major warning sign that things are about to go to crap. Look here in 2021. We had 2 major downturns marked, of course, by a loss of, and then a failure to retake the 50-day exponential moving average. Look, it's not perfect and it's a later signal, but it can serve to help inform your thoughts on if the bulls can step it back up to the plate, if a reversal can happen above this line, because if it doesn't, watch out below. A much later indicator, of course, is the 200-day exponential moving average in late 2021. We crossed this line, and had you got out then, you didn't get out of the 50-day EMA, but you got out of the 200 EMA, well, you would have got out around $50,000. Not as good as selling the top at $69,000. Obviously, hindsight's great. But the price from this point, crossing under the 200-day EMA, it dropped another 69% and eventually reached $15,500. Another last call for alcohol signal. Closing time is here. Is the weekly MACD. Look at 2021. Had you sold when the bear cross happened on the weekly MACD, then you would have been able to sell at 52K before the drop to 28K and sell at 50K before the drop to 15.5K. Again, this is not perfectly hitting the top signal, but it's a, hey, buddy, the party is over signal. Get out. And you'll still get good profits if you sell around that time. Less technical, perhaps, but there's, of course, the 4-year cycle theory. Basically, by this theory, every 4 years in Q4, the market top will hit. This was true in 2013. This was true in 2017. This was true in 2021. And many believe it'll be true again in 2025. So by this theory, basically just plan to sell everything at the end of next year, regardless of whatever else is going on. And don't believe in the super cycle bullshit that's going to come out when that happens. Up only $1 million soon. It's going to flood your timelines. You will be convinced. Be careful. And one final, although perhaps more arcane signal could be the Fibonacci lines. Look at the 2021 cycle. This is some crazy stuff. The price of Bitcoin hit the 3.618 Fibonacci line, highlighted by the orange arrow that you see here, for the early cycle peak and the final peak, both times. Selling was a good idea in both cases. But that was then, Lark. What about now? Well, this indicator shows that the 3.618 line is right around $210,000, $215,000. Maybe you overshoot at the absolute peak price and push up as high as like 230 or 250.
Listen, when people, for me, it's like when people are calling for like numbers like that or like saying it's going to go up there, I take like half. Probably going to get to like half of that. That's my opinion.
Selling just over the 3.618 line could be a great time to get the heck out of the markets. And unlike many of the other signals that I just shared, this is actually an earlier signal that will let you get out much closer to the top and for more profits, much like with the pi cycle top indicator. Real quick.
Just kind of like, you know, thinking last bull run, how many people were calling for like crazy amounts of money, right? Most likely we'll break 100K if I had to guess in the bull run, but the calls for like 200 and stuff, like just take all that with a grain of salt. Come back down to like reality, like half of that, if that, you know what I mean? That you're lucky if you get half of that, right?
Got today's sponsor, which is iTrust.
God.
Video. Now let's talk about the social factors.
That's weird. Lark doesn't usually do sponsor videos.
This will be, of course, the big news story. I'm unsure what this could actually be right now, but there will be something. In 2021, we had El Salvador, which marked the 69K top, the Coinbase IPO, which marked the 64K top. In 2017, Bitcoin futures marked the top on around December 17th, December 18th. So watch out for some of the following news stories, which could maybe be a major topping news story. So a central bank from a major nation buying Bitcoin, could be Russia, could be France, for example. Equally, a sovereign wealth fund from a major player announcing that it's buying truck tons of Bitcoin could be such a moment too. We already kind of have those inklings of stories, but an official announcement would be something like that. A mega IPO for someone like Binance. I don't know if they're going to do an IPO, but just as an example. Or it could be Google or Facebook announcing that, hey, we're buying $10 billion in Bitcoin for our corporate treasuries. Could be a topping moment. Maybe even someone like Switzerland approving Bitcoin as legal tender. That would be huge beyond belief and a plausible scenario. Maybe Vanguard finally launches a Bitcoin ETF. That would be a late stage moment, wouldn't it? I say that because Vanguard, of course, are big haters and they will be late movers in the space. The next is media hype. This New York Times article, for example, is published at the exact top of the altcoin bubble in January 2018.
That's actually a good point. Media hype will literally reverse things, typically, right?
2021, we saw Jimmy Fallon talking up Bored Ape NFTs within days of the top and the inevitable collapse. There are many other examples, but widespread media hype should be met with fear, not greed. You might also count social signals, things like previously not rich people posting pictures of you know, their Rolexes, flying private, all that kind of stuff starting to fill up your timeline. It means that there is too much rich and too much froth in the market and that nature needs to heal a little bit. Another trusted indicator could be the Coinbase app. Now, everybody kind of knows this now. It could be front run in that idea, but the last two cycles it has hit the number one in the App Store within about a few days of the top for Bitcoin and about 2 weeks before the altcoin top came in. Binance and Crypto.com in this scenario also probably going to be in the top 10 most downloaded apps of all apps. Now, it's a little more of an uncertain signal, and it may not work out again this cycle, but also it might, and I wouldn't fade it. A much less certain but quite curious social indicator, of course, also those friends and family members, the old school buddy from college or whatever. You don't talk to this person. In fact, you never talk to you, rarely ever talk to this person. They're not interested in crypto, not interested in investing. They're the normies. But suddenly they're reaching out to you because they heard you something crypto posted online once, and they're asking you what dog coins to buy. Not perfect, but definitely a red flag that the market's overheated. Final warning.
He's not wrong there. He's not wrong there. We're definitely not at that point yet. I have gotten calls randomly, like, oh my God, look at Bitcoin, blah, 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 right? But it's nothing like it used to be. Everybody was talking about, Dogecoin and all this other stuff. Like, you'll know when it gets to that point.
And write this one down. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful.
That is the famous Warren Buffett quote, right? And that is exactly why I look at Flashbang, everybody. Fear and Greed Index. It's why I look at this. It's like the perfect chart, because this is a collective overall consensus of the market. News, videos, all over the place. It all goes into this chart. So that's why we look at it every single day, just to keep things like, keep us on the cutting edge of what the hell's going on.
Look at this. Understand that most market participants will exactly go through this psychological ballet of emotions.
This is in every market, by the way. This happens all the time.
They will be mega bullish. I'm a genius. I need to bet more. It's time to remortgage the house and go all in. They will get greedy. They will buy more. And at the bottom, they will feel like idiots, and they will sell for crushing, devastating losses, but not you. Because you know that to win, you must do the opposite.
Yeah, we just hold all the way up and then hold all the way down. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that this run. But if you do, if you ride it down, guys, listen, it's going to put you in a place where, like, holy shit, you're going to be depressed. Like, oh my God, I had all this money and now I'm sitting in a box. Like, that's pretty much like you were up here, Lamborghini status, and now you're down here. Cardboard box, can't even afford it, right? Like, can't afford anything. And yeah, it's gonna happen. So if you do that, please just put it aside and wait. I mean, for one, you shouldn't ever invest more than you can afford to lose, but just wait, okay? Just hold on.
These people are your exit liquidity. That's how it is, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game. This is not kumbaya. This is player versus player, and you need to win the game for you. You need to understand that most are going to lose. It's the unfortunate reality of investing. It's just the rules. Look, I don't make the rules, but those are the rules. You either play to win or you play to lose. No matter what combination of these factors you see happening, there is one thing that will 100% be true. You will either take your profits or the market will take them for you.
Or you could just wait and then it'll come eventually, right? So what I'm going to do personally, we'll get into it in a second.
There will be no orderly exit from the market, only chaos and then pain and suffering for those of you who did not sell. The sooner that you accept that this is the reality, the better your chances of actually making money in this market become. Thanks for watching.
He's not wrong. Shout out to Mr. Lark Davis for the video. All right, let's get in the recap segment of things. So what I was going to say is I have two separate holdings, right? I have a Tangent wallet that I actively will use to swap and trade coins. I think it's the easiest place to do so. I mean, I've tried many wallets, many sites. Tangent's by far the easiest, okay? Especially for a beginner. So if you guys are interested, I do have a link. Don't care if you do it or not. Use somebody else's code. I don't give a shit. But Tangent makes it easy, right? I use that, and I will be swapping out of my Bitcoin holdings and all of my altcoin holdings into USDT when the market pumps, right? Or when we get to the bull run, the peak, or close to the peak, or somewhere where I think is comfortable. I'm going to have a number, I'm going to set it, and I'm going to forget it. You guys need to have that number in mind. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go to, it's going to go to $1 million. Cause like, trust me, you're going to ride that depressing train all the way the hell down. And you're going to be very upset at yourself. So you need to make sure you have like a point where, like, okay, Bitcoin hits, say 96,000. That's my point to sell, and stay with that. Okay. Don't be mad if it goes up more, and don't, you know what I mean? Like, just please Please just take the gains and walk away and come back to the table when things are down. All right. But I will be holding my ledger stuff, right? Because I'm not plugging that shit in. I'm nervous to plug it in. I ain't gonna lie. But I don't want to plug that in because it's not, I don't know. That's just like my long-term holdings, right? Like my immediate gains are going to be my tangent. My long-term holdings, I'm going to keep there and it's going to stay there. And that's like my kids' money or pay off the house money. If it gets to that point, then maybe I'll sell it. But always have a goal. Bitcoin, $63,233 as of right now, down 5% on the day. We have Ethereum at $3,088. Solana, everything's on a fire sale today, guys. XRP 48 cents, Solana 132 bucks. We got Caspa at 11.4. We have ETC at 25 bucks. Let's see, Dogecoin 15 cents. Everything is down today, everything, and it's really not that bad. Let's see, what's the biggest loser on the week? Oh man, everything. Holy shit, look at this. Look at how small the bubbles are, and they're all double digit down. 39% on Bonk. Oh, there was some boob in the chat, by the way. Named his channel, or at Bonk was the thing. Sitting there giving us Binance bullshit. Please. You're gonna lose all your money in these meme coins. It's gonna happen. Mark my words. They're all gonna go down and you're gonna lose money. Most of the gains have been made, but if they haven't, the hopium is still keeping these coins alive and they have no utility. Unless they have some utility, then please change my mind. Dogecoin's probably the only one, and Shiba. Those two will probably stay around for a while, but like most of these coins are gonna go way down. What is this one? Ondo is the only thing that's up on the week, 4.5%, 82 cents. Interesting. Everything else is like really completely taking a shit. Nuts. Anyways, yeah, Uniswap's down, obviously. SEC Wells notice bullshit going on there. $7.20. That might be a good buy, actually. I think we talked about that on Saturday Night Live. I think Uniswap might be a good buy. With Bonk, Pepe had to get a bag. Yeah, you know what, like, listen, if you guys want now, like, now is probably the time to get some if you want to take a risk. But like, bro, throw $100 at it. Don't like Max would say, blow your whole wad on meme coins. Like, it ain't, the gains are not gonna be there like that kind of crazy gains anymore, right? Whiff is down a lot. I mean, I'm still shocked it has a $2.53 billion market cap. That's insane for a freaking meme coin. That's crazy. So you guys can make money. Yes. Are you gonna be a millionaire out of it? Probably not. But hey, listen, anything can happen, right? But these could also literally go to zero. So please just freaking be careful. I don't want to see anybody get wrecked, because I've seen it in the space way too much, and it sucks. You always feel bad because it's never a fun sight when people get wrecked. Let's see. All right, any other coins you guys are looking at before we get out of here? What are you guys looking at? Render's one of my big ones that I kind of really want to start getting more of. Caspa, I mean, obviously I've been DCAing into that a lot. Litecoin is one of those coins that I want. Did anybody else just see that? Did Polkadot just do? What is that? Flame. What in the hell? That's weird as hell. You know, Polkadot's one of these coins that I was going to add in my video that I'm trying to do, or I'm going to do at some point. What do you guys think about Polkadot? Does this have a good chance? So 2020, right? It came out ish. 2021 bull run. It did really well. I don't know how it's going to perform this time. I guess they're ahead of things though, with like, you know, going to the SEC, asking permissions and all this shit. So there's a bit going on behind the scenes with Polkadot. I think it might be a good buy. I'm not positive. I don't have any. So full disclosure, never been into it yet. Love Dot, it'll do well, says Mo. Okay. I'm gonna, you know, I might get a bag of it, and I think I'm gonna, this is one of the coins that I had to do more research on, because I picked out 5 coins. I'm not gonna tell you what they all are, but I was like, all right, Polkadot's gonna be one of them, because I want to see if I can find any more information on it. But I think this might be a good buy. I think it might be a good buy. $54, man. 88% down 2 years. I want to try to find coins like that are down over, you know, whatever. I mean, except for Caspa. Caspa's just, it's got a different place. Let's see. What's Lithium? Lithium's one of those coins too I gotta kind of take a look at, but I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I'm sure it's gonna do well. I am, but like how well, I don't know. It's already hit an all-time high 2 months ago, so it's like, I don't know. Render's a good pickup. Yeah, I think so too, because Render, they have utility. Like, they render things for companies, right? So if it's like a platform, you need something computed, like you go to Render, like that's gonna do it, right? Let's see. That's a strategy everyone should have. Buy fear. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. You buy when shit's down. Like, again, ADA, we talked about it. We've talked about it 3 weeks straight, literally 3 weeks straight. This coin, I don't give a shit about Cardano. I never have, ever. This is a strictly make money to me coin. Like, I feel like it's a good play because every single bull run we see it pop. It runs up with everything else in the altcoins, right? 2017, 2021, like, it's super cheap right now. It's down 85% over 2 years. Like, this is a coin that could probably easily 6x, easily, and you have a chance to make, 6x your money. Like, that's totally worth it. 5 to 10x, like, that's freaking hell yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you take that? It's a win. 1000%, right? So I don't know, you guys do what you want. Again, I have no affiliation with Cardano. I've never held a bag until like 2 weeks ago, so you guys do what you want. Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Scared me. Nismo. Let's see. I am here. You can see this, right? What are you saying? What is this? Coin Bureau status. What is this? Crypto KJ, what are you sending me? Let's see. Banking Canada refuses to allow a man to withdraw his money. Oh, bro, hold on. Let's see. Now imagine one permission blockchain control the central bank, a system that can track funds, spend accounts, and pause transactions. That's a CBDC. That's the future they want. And you know what? That's so true. That's so true. Let's watch this real quick. Hopefully I don't get whacked for this. Hold on. All right, let's do it.
I can't. Wait, I don't understand. What are you talking about?
So I can either give you a bank draft, or if you're gonna get cash, I will need an invoice for the car purchase.
Why? No, I'd like to. It's for the car's payments for in cash. I can't use a bank draft.
Are you buying from like a private?
Yeah, it's private.
person?
It's literally from my friend.
From your friend?
Yeah, but he wants it in cash.
Can he give you like anything that you're purchasing from him?
No, I don't. You don't need that. Bro, what is it? I'm only asking for 3. What is this? It's my money. I'm allowed to withdraw.
Bro, fuck these banks, man.
He said what's the maximum limit you can give a withdrawal to a customer? It's $3,000 on the day. You've already mentioned that multiple times.
Yeah, not today.
Why not today?
Yeah, not today.
I would need a bank draft, or we're getting invoice.
But why you don't? You need proof of what it is. Why is that? And why is that? Why is that? Why do you need it? Why do you need it?
I'd be like, eat shit, lady. Like, what? Why do you? What? I'm going to buy McDonald's. Give me my money. Who gives a
Tell you
shit?
what it is. Why do you need? What kind of proof is that? I bring in a note. Like,
What?
How is that? What is that going to change? I don't understand.
So that would
You need to give my money. I'm not taking a bank draft. I would like cash, please.
Yeah, I won't be able to give you cash today.
Okay, wait. I'm just going to sit here until you give me cash. So I'm not going to leave.
Okay, well, if you want, you can have a sit there.
And then do what? Who am I waiting for?
I can get the manager to talk to you.
Well, yeah, get the manager because this is it's unbelievable.
That's ridiculous, man. Wow. That's fucked up. That ain't even right. That's crazy. I'm reposting that. That's crazy. You know what? Like, man, them rules they got. I've been there before. So like, I was trying to take out, what was it? It was like 5 or 10 grand. I can't remember. I think it was like 5. It wasn't even much. And it took them 3 days to get that shit into the bank for me. I'm like, what? It doesn't take you 3 days to get me $5,000? Are you shitting me? Yeah, well, the money that we have in here is we have to keep it for, be able to provide money to everybody else. I'm like, hold on, hold the fucking phone. I'm like, look at my bank account and then tell me that's not my money. What do you mean? Like, that's so bullshit. It's so bullshit. But I mean, I guess like bank robbers and shit, right? Like, yeah, whatever. But if they have a minimum amount, $3,000 a day, or a maximum amount, $3,000 a day per person, then give the guy his money. What the fuck? Excuse my language, but that's messed up. That ain't even normal. That's not cool at all. That's crazy. My bank won't let me take more than 5K out. Yeah, dude, that's nuts. Wow. And then if you deposit more than 10K, if I'm not mistaken, you deposit more than 10K, or it's like This is like a threshold. So it might be like 9,000 something, right? But if you deposit more than that, they immediately think you're a drug dealer and you're gonna fill out this form. Like, where'd this money come from? Like, my ass. Under my mattress? Who gives a shit where it came from? I was like, I remember when I was buying my house, the lender, because I worked for myself, right? I worked for myself for years. I've been saving money since I was 18 to buy my house, right? And legit, it was all, you know, over the table, not under the table bullshit. Like, it was legit money, but it was mine. I didn't want to put it in the bank. I just put it in my safe, right? So when I gave the guy, I went to the bank and I deposited money, right, to put down on the house. They're like, the lender's like, where'd this money come from? Like, the banks want to know, blah, blah. I was like, my safe. And they're like, yeah, but where? I was like, from working. And they're like, but from where? And I'm like, my job. What do you mean from where? I'm like, I've been saving money since I was 18. I don't know. I'm like, a piggy bank. You never seen a piggy bank? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, but when it's that kind of money, they want to know. I was like, well, then tell them I'm a drug dealer, because I don't know what you want me to say. I'm like, that is all the only explanation there is. I saved my money, like, period. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know how that went over with the conversation between him and the bank, the actual loan, but like, he figured it out, because I'm like, dude, I don't have an explanation. Like, I literally saved my money. Like, excuse me for saving my money. It's so stupid. So stupid. Let's see. It's none of their MF business. Yeah, dude, seriously, it's so terrible. But like, literally, I had to say that. I was like, well, then tell them I'm a drug dealer. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm like, I don't have an excuse. I don't. I'm like, there's no other explanation than I've been saving my money since I was 18. That's the only excuse I have, because that's the truth. Like, that's it, period. So I don't know. Anyways, it's yeah, that's how people are gonna look at you. You want to carry money, you want to save your money, you want to have money where they can't track it. That's yeah, I don't know. You save your money since you're young and you bring it to the bank. They cannot give you you know, they're just gonna give you licks of shit for whatever reason, because they can't trace it. Like, I'm sorry, but look at my bank statements and my 2 jobs or 3 jobs that I had growing up for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, God, it was so awful. It was so awful. But anyways, all right, let's get into this, guys. We gotta go raid Miss or let's get out of this, rather. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper. She's gonna be live soon. And again, if you guys feel the need to donate anywhere, please go check out Mr. Mining Discord in the announcement section. I did put Oval Bore Tech's like GoFundMe page. It's not a GoFundMe page, I forget what it's called, but go yeah, go donate there. Proceeds obviously going to his family, pay for the funeral expenses and all that stuff. So he was a big part of our community. We're gonna love and miss him forever. And that's that. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you tomorrow morning bright and early on the daily grind. Have a good day. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll catch you then. Peace out.